It's a Sebon Podcast Show. It's a Sebon Podcast Show. Everybody's welcome. Peace and love. It's a Sebon Podcast Show. Bam, we're live.
100% my fault. I forgot to send Gemma a link. Jeez Louise, Sevi. Jeez Louise, Sevi. Oh, no, I did send her a link. Let's party. I did send her a link. Okay, not my fault. Good morning, Marissa. Hi. Christine. Hi. Augustus. Hi. Audrey. Hi. Marissa Hinojosa. Hinojosa. Good morning, guys. Holy cow, 15 viewers. It's a real big show today. Cayman Cider. Good to see you. Draw your dagger. I get it. Sarah Cooper, what's up? Justin V. Happy birthday, America. Yeah, happy 4th of July. I didn't even know, except for the fireworks stands. I'm always surprised to see fireworks stands in California. I don't ever see them in nice neighborhoods, only shitty neighborhoods. I only see fireworks stands in shitty neighborhoods. Gemma, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
I've never known a Gemma.
Haven't you?
No, just on TV.
Well, I'm your first then.
Hi. I love
Hi.
a first. I love a first.
How's
It's
it
been
going?
a while. It's been a while since I've had a first.
Me too.
Where are you?
I'm at home in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East.
Oh, that's home for you. Okay. God, there's so much to learn
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah, no, I've been here for 4 years, almost 4 years now. This is my 4th year.
And how old are you?
32.
And you're going to the CrossFit Games.
I am. I still kind of feel like I have to pinch myself, actually.
First time as an individual.
Yes.
Crazy. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, I kind of think back to the weekend and I'm like, who was that person on the competition floor? Yeah, such wild.
You didn't have expectations to go?
Well, actually, like after the event, I've obviously been thinking a lot about that, and there's been 2 times in my, I would say, like my CrossFit journey where I've written down like tangible goals, and one was in 2022, funnily enough, and one was this year, just after the Open, and I wrote down I am going to qualify for the CrossFit Games, and both times I did. So I've never been one to journal or one to write down things, especially to set like such heavy goals on yourself. But it's been really crazy that both times I've kind of pulled through with those. So I guess I didn't expect to qualify, but I put every measure in place this year compared to say last year, which kind of set me up for like if I didn't qualify, then hats off to the girl who beat me. But I felt like that was probably the most prepared I could be to do it.
2022 is with the teams.
Yeah, 2022 was with the teams. But like I went into 2022 with like I needed to find 3 other people to get me to the games. Because I knew we could qualify if we just had 3 people that were good enough.
Gemma, in 2022, is your last name Rader?
Rader, yeah.
I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. Gemma, when in 2022, when you said you had to find 3 other people, so that was your ambition? Were you sort of the team captain? You organized that?
Well, yeah, it was a bit of a weird dynamic actually, because I did organize it because I was working at Vogue Fitness at the time, and there was no one really at Vogue at the time who was, I'd say, fit to be in the team other than Paolo Russell, who ended up being one of the teammates. And that towards the end of the year, there was 3 new coaches coming in to Yas. And before they even arrived, I was told Martha Cook is competitive. I heard of Michael Makare, and I think I DM'd them all on Instagram before they even got to Abu Dhabi. And I was like, so listen, next year, are you keen to like jump on a team? I'm really keen to give Asia region a go. What are your thoughts? And they were all kind of like, like we don't even know Abu Dhabi. We haven't met you. We don't know how good you are. But yeah, we can chat when we get there. And yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Hey, where are you born?
Where was I born? In Johannesburg.
Okay. But when you went team, sorry, I got a little confused there. Because I'm just confused person in general. But so when you went as team, you didn't go from the Africa region?
No, so by this point, I was living in Abu Dhabi. I'd been in Abu Dhabi for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 2021? Yeah. I got to Abu Dhabi in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
beginning of the year. And I did that year because it was all COVID crazy that year. So I did the online semi-final, German or Lowlands. I can't remember which one, but I competed, did that one. And then I was like, nah, I want to give team a go for the following year. So yeah, being all
Good. That
done.
makes me happy because for a second I was like, oh my God, I have no idea who I have on the show. Good. Okay. Well, that's
No, no,
good. I'm glad I
right person.
first place in Africa.
Yeah.
Uh,
The,
born
no
born
other
on
option.
say that again.
No other option. First place in Africa.
Born on the African continent.
Yes, but I am half Italian.
Hey, you know what's really weird is you don't. I mean, I don't hang out with a lot of people from South Africa, but you don't sound like you're from South Africa. You sound more
Yeah.
Australian than I guess when you say yeah, but I didn't mean that as a dig. I
No.
wish I did, but you sound more Australian than South African because sometimes South Africans can be hard for me to understand.
So my family is English,
Hmm.
and my grandmother and my mother have always prided themselves on like being more English spoken than South African spoken.
Okay.
Um, so from that point of view, I guess when I'm around my family, my South African part of my accent is a little bit less. But if I'm around like my friends, I get very South African. Coming to the UAE, I'm in a relationship with a guy who's Australian, so that's probably why I sound a little bit more Australian because I'm like talking like him when I'm with him. Um, and then all my friends are like Brits, and you have to speak very clearly as well when you're talking to different nationalities. Like in my gym, I'm coaching the locals here and people from Germany and all over the place. So like the more clear I can pronounce my words, like the easier people understand me.
Hey,
So
what's the deal with Abu Dhabi? How would what's going on there? What is like I live in a sleepy beach town in California, 70 miles south of San Francisco. Most that we don't have an Apple store. We're not a major metropolis. The people who are born here end up staying here. There's like never anything new here. It's just like, you know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
it's weird. It's just kind of just a normal place that for, the 10 years I've been here, I haven't seen any change. What's going on in Abu Dhabi? It's a unique place, right? It's a trippy
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, like it's probably one of the most. I mean, okay, listen, I'm not very well traveled. I've only traveled for CrossFit, really. But
You said you're 32?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I pretty much a lot of people who grow up in South Africa stay in South Africa, because like number one, depending on what job you get, like it's quite expensive to travel anywhere else in the world. So anyway, when I got out in Abu Dhabi, I probably when I moved here is when I've done most of my traveling. But what I can say is it's such a melting pot of cultures. In South Africa, you know Afrikaans people and you know every other African culture that South Africa has. You don't really see many other types of nationalities there. So when I got here, I was like, I didn't even know that the Welsh had their own accent. Like when I met some guys from Wales, I was like, they speak weird. And then I realized, oh wait, that's actually what the Welsh accent sounds like because I thought it was just this guy. Um,
And when you say Welsh that's like basically just a country that sits on the island on the United Kingdom, right? It's just like
yeah,
one of the
yeah, yeah.
adjacent, like I guess a state. Is it a country? Is it even a country?
Yeah, I think it's. Oh no! Now you're
Is it its
speaking to
own
the wrong
country?
person. I'm gonna
Okay, okay.
embarrass myself.
But it's okay. But they share the island with the United Kingdom.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
England,
in the
Ireland,
south there
Scotland,
somewhere, right? Okay,
Wales.
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't realize they had their own. That's how they spoke. Like British sounds like British. I didn't know the Welsh accent. So, um, from that point of view, it's such a culturally enriching place. And then you have the locals who also like they love foreigners here. Like they just like to immerse you in their culture, and they're so welcoming and understanding because for a lot of us, like it's so new and foreign that like it's very difficult to sometimes understand. And like I coach ladies only classes, I get to mix with them, and like they're all just such beautiful people. Like as a coach, I just feel so like looked after here. Like they really respect me, and yeah, I absolutely love it. So from that point of view, the people, it's a lot more open also than people think. Like I know there are other Emirates and other parts in the Middle East that are a little bit more conservative, but Abu Dhabi and Dubai are very open, especially Dubai. Dubai way more. But you can pretty much live life like normal as an expat. There's nothing really I would say that I can't do or don't do. And yeah, it's just safe. And for me, like that's a big thing coming from South Africa. I didn't realize the anxiety I had just living life until I left and then went back. Yeah, because as a kid, like that awareness of your surroundings and the constant like what's the word, like when you're always like just vigilant about your locking your house and like being aware that you don't put your handbag where it's visible, or
You
when
were
Abu
born. You
Dhabi.
were born in Cape Town,
I was born in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. Okay.
Yeah, I lived in Cape Town for 5 years. Yeah, so
We'll get back to Abu Dhabi in a second. Abu Dhabi is the capital of the United Arab Emirates. Sits on the main land on an island in the Persian Gulf. It's the focus in oil exports and commerce is reflected. Okay, thank you. From Wales, for fuck's sake, it's a country, you dipshit. Thank you. Bye. You got to hear that last one. It's a country, you dipshits. Okay, thank you. Is Canada a country? No, Canada is an experiment for the World Economic Forum, but thank you for asking. Let's see. Okay. That's it for the abuse. When the Johannesburg has a major airport there. I spent a lot of time in Africa, months and months in Africa, all over the African continent. And anytime I flew anywhere, we had to go back to Johannesburg. It was a trip. We like even if I was just going to go like north, let's say I was in Malawi and I was going to go an hour north, for some reason you had to fly back down to Johannesburg because the airport is such a major hub. And I was actually mugged. I was attempted to be mugged in the airport there, even though it's a beautiful airport, massive, international, with a Gucci store. But the actual TSA there, I don't know what you guys call them there, but the actual security there, when I went through there, they surrounded me and tried to take a bribe from me. It was absolutely fucking crazy, because it seems first world is all get out. It's like it's beautiful and modern. But the actual employees there tried to mug me. It was crazy. It was nuts. But
people are opportunistic there. They see a foreigner and they see target.
It was not, like when you fly from one country to another country, even though if you stay in the airport, you got to go through like the international like security area. It was in there. The guys dressed who were supposed to be there to protect you for your safety came and surrounded me and started yelling at me and calling me a fucking moron and asking me to give me money out of their wallet. And it was just in a small and there were other passengers there, but it was in a small little narrow area where they could surround me. It was wild.
Yeah, it's
but I was so
scary.
ignorant. Yeah, it was a little scary, but I was so ignorant that I didn't realize they were trying to like get me until I was out the other side. I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
They were trying to fucking mug me. They were trying to take my wallet.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and then of course Cape Town unfortunately has the scary name of rape. You hear Rape Town. And so and when I was in South Africa, I can't remember where I went, but I was downtown and it was beautiful and there were skyscrapers everywhere. And I was like, where's the cafes with all the people sitting outside? And they're like, no, you can't do that here. You can't just sit outside with your laptop open at a cafe here. Someone will run by and take it from you. And it was a trip. So when you say that you left there and the stress, you didn't realize how stressed you were, I can relate. Like I can be like, oh yeah, that's.
And it's funny because my family, I go back home. I went back home obviously for the semis, and my family doesn't. They don't know because they've just been there their whole lives, so they don't know that like the difference between like going somewhere that's actually safe versus South Africa. Like I was staying in I stayed with my brother when I went up for semis, and he's living in like a really beautiful area, like a gated community, because a lot of the suburbs are gated off in Johannesburg with booms and security. Like you have people monitoring that, and at nighttime they close certain roads so that there's only one entry and one exit point for the street. So this area was obviously a lot safer. So I would walk or run to the gym from where he was staying, because it was like maybe 1.5 kilometers or so. But it took me like a couple of days to like get the courage to like do that outside.
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of other people in the neighborhood running every day. So I was like, all right, if everyone's running, that's fine. But then I'm like, can I wear my watch? Can I wear my earphones?
Yeah.
I just didn't know. So yeah, in Abu Dhabi, it's beautifully safe, and I feel very comfortable here. Which comfort's not always a good thing, but for now, it's a good thing.
Yeah. And we definitely have places like that in the States also, but the country's so big that if you wanted to, there's tons of safe places you could go. I mean, there's like, you know what I mean? Like in the United States, we do have very dangerous spots, but you can't always get away. Like you could easily just drive, 100 miles from pretty much anywhere and be like, okay, I'm in a place where someone will stop and fix my flat tire. I can't remember where I was. I think I was in Dubai, and I was staying at a hotel there, and I left my cell phone in a cab, and the cab drove off. And then 6 hours later, I was just in the lobby talking to my friend. It was actually Greg Glassman, and I was like, let's go to the store and get a new phone. And there was a hotel employee there, and he goes, "Oh, you lost your phone?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, we can get it for you." I'm like, "No, I left it in the cab like 6 hours ago." He goes, "No problem. Where were you? Where were you standing when you got in the cab?" And I go, "Right there." He goes, "Okay, I'll get it for you. What hotel room are you in?" And 2 hours later, he got me my cell phone back. So I was asking him, I was like, "Hey, how did you do that?" He's like, "Dude, this is the safest place in the world. No one's
Yeah.
stealing shit." He said, "You could travel around with a wheelbarrow with $1 million worth of cash and just walk around with it, and no one would take a thing from you." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Dude, you could just leave it on the sidewalk. No one is stealing here." I'm
Yeah,
like, wow.
I know.
It felt that way.
Yeah, it does. I
Yeah, it
mean,
felt that way.
I think I did Waterpalooza last year in a team with my friend Evie and Martha, and I think on our first day in Miami, we were not Miami. Was it Miami? Yeah, Miami. We were walking to like try and find a coffee shop in the morning, and the first thing that happened was we got followed by this homeless guy on drugs, and we had to like run into a hotel building, and the guy was like, why are you guys coming in here?" We're like, "No, there's this guy following us," and then the guy came straight into the hotel, and we were so shocked. And then afterwards, that whole trip, we were like, oh crap, like we're not in Abu Dhabi anymore, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Miami
Yeah.
can be dicey.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's very fortunate, yeah.
And when you're born somewhere like South Africa, you like you said, you just didn't know any different. It just is.
Hmm. Like multiple people in my family have been held up at gunpoint outside their houses and stuff like that. And I don't want to paint South Africa in a bad light because it doesn't happen everywhere, but there's probably majority of South Africans could tell you a story of someone close to them or themselves that have had that happen. I don't know how common that is everywhere else, but certainly.
Yeah, where I live, I know no one who's been not a
Yeah.
single person. Fascinating. Are guns legal in South Africa? They are, right?
You have to have licenses for them, and it's quite tricky to get. I know that because my old boss was trying to get a gun license, and it was difficult.
But hunting is big there, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Big.
So let's go back to that. So do you know how your family ended up in South Africa?
No, actually, I don't. My dad, because he's from Italy, his dad was working in South Africa, and then they moved when he was a little kid. They moved down, and I think my mom was born in Johannesburg and lived there. So
And,
for the
and
most
how did
part.
and how did they meet? Do you know?
On the phone, actually, my parents, yeah, both were coming from like divorced marriages, and my mom knew some girls that knew my dad, and they said, "We think you'll like this man," and they put them in contact. Because at the time, my mom was living in this like jeepers, this tiny, tiny town that takes about 2 minutes to drive through in the Eastern Cape. So she was living there, and my dad was, I don't know, working somewhere because he used to work like all over Africa, and put them in contact. That's how they met.
And he just courted her like that, like old school.
Yeah,
Hi, how are
yeah,
you? Do you want to go for a cup of coffee?
pretty much.
And do you have siblings?
I do. So I've got quite a big family because of my dad's previous marriage. He had two, and then my mom had three, and then my mom and my dad got married and had my brother and I.
So 7 kids.
Yeah, but we like what we call in South Africa the laat lammetjies, which means like the late children. A lammetjie is a little lamb, so we like the late kids of the family. Um, and yeah, there's quite a big gap. I think between me and my youngest sister is like 8 years.
And how about your oldest sibling?
She must be like 45 now. My dad's daughter, actually, I'm very bad with the birthdays. I can't keep up with how old people are. My
So
dad's
like
daughter
a
must be closer to
23-year
50.
gap though. That's 20,
Yeah,
23 years if I did the math, like between your youngest and your oldest.
yeah, big gaps.
And what did your dad do? What was his vocation?
He was a geologist, so he used to work all over the world, like up in Africa. He used to work in South America. Um, yeah, like he did mostly field work. So he loved to go out and like find his specialty was gold and diamonds. So he was like, wherever that was, he was there for months at a time, actually.
So how people would survey land to find like oil and water, he would survey land and be like, okay,
Yeah.
the characteristics of where there would be diamonds or gold, this spot got it. Start digging here.
Yeah, exactly. And he was so back then as well, like the technology wasn't as sophisticated as it is today. So a lot of the stuff he did what had to be like using paper maps and all these kind of things. Like it was a
Yeah.
lot more hands-on than it is today. But he absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it sounds like a really cool job. How old is he?
Well, he passed away like 2019, I think. So he was 72 when he passed away. Yeah, I would say just probably factors of lifestyle, to be honest, was his reasons.
So 5 years ago,
Mm,
and you were 27.
yeah. Yes, you quick maths.
And thank you. I'm very good at math. And is your mom still alive?
Yeah. She lives in Port Alfred, which is where I grew up.
And then so you're born in Cape Town, and what was it like growing up there? What did you do there? Was it just you went to school every morning, came home, stuff like that, just a regular life?
So I was born in Joburg, moved to Cape Town in 2015 or 2016, 2015.
Okay.
But I was born in Joburg, and then we lived on the coast about 10 hours away from Johannesburg. And that's where I stayed pretty much my whole life until I moved to Cape Town. Um, so, I mean, it's small town vibes. Like, as a kid, I used to horse ride. And that was my like main sport. And then I pretty much try to do whatever else I could. But I was never in like a very competitive environment from like my family. Like my mother never pushed me. My dad had educational expectations of me, but not physical. My like physical drive all came like intrinsically. Like I wanted to be a professional at something sporty, and both my older sisters were horse riders, and they actually reached quite a high level in horse riding. But they lived in a city like an hour and a half away from where I was, so I didn't see them that often. They lived with their dad, but I looked up to them massively. So that's kind of why I started horse riding. And then, yeah, I pretty much spent my childhood horse riding and doing odd sports when I could. It was
What is
great growing up there.
what is horse riding? Are you jumping over stuff?
Yeah. So I used to do like show jumping, and I used to do dressage and a bit of like very little bit of cross country type riding, like jumping and yeah. So I I really when I was a kid, my goal was to be like a professional horse rider. But that dream was soon shattered when I realized I didn't have the money, I didn't have the support, and I didn't have the time when I moved schools. So
A very unique culture in that sport. It's its
yeah,
own world.
it is. But it's as a kid, it's like I don't know, you develop like such a beautiful relationship with you have to love it to do it, and you just like get so close to your animal. Yeah, so I was attached. I had my own pony, and I was in the farm almost every single day.
Did you go to school or were you homeschooled?
And I went to school. I was
You
in
went-
a public school, and then I moved to a private school for my last 3 years. Yeah.
Is horse riding a physically demanding sport? Was it physically demanding?
At the time I didn't think so, but if I had to go and get back onto a horse now, I would be extremely unfit because there is an element of fitness that you need to, like, you don't realize it when you just get fit riding, you know. So to a point, yes, it is physically demanding. You have to be a lot stronger than you think, you know.
It's kind of like a motocross. People don't realize
Yes.
how fit those guys are, and then it's like they're holding on for dear life onto a motorcycle doing laps, and then yeah, you realize, holy shit, like it's a seriously physically demanding sport, but you just don't see it because I guess people are looking at the horse, and in motocross, people are looking at the bike.
Yeah, and you don't realize like the amount of force you need to exert continuously to perform all the jobs that you're doing, because you make it kind of look a bit effortless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Horse girls have fat asses. Big glute workout on the horse.
Um, you know, what's funny is that I used to actually think that as well. I don't like, I love
I
my
mean,
sister
now
to
you're in the
pieces.
ultimate fat ass sport, CrossFit. I mean, the
It's funny you say that
glute
because,
machine. Everyone's a glute machine. I mean, even the boys. Like, if you don't have a big ass, you're fucked.
well, it's funny you say that because the other day I was measuring myself because I wanted to buy a swimming costume, and I measured my ass, and I used to do it a lot back at uni, and I remember it was like around 101, 102 centimeters, and I measured it and it was 94, and I was like, oh shit, my butt's actually shrunk since university. So I was quite shocked,
Shame
actually.
on you. You are no
I
longer allowed to
know
represent CrossFit.
I'm doing something
Hey,
wrong.
how do you measure when you measure your ass? You're basically measuring your hips. You take like a tape and you go around your hips.
Yeah, from like around the thickest part.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
called it a costume. I haven't heard the word costume used like that. But you mean like you were like it was a swimsuit like you would actually use, like you'd go to the
Yeah.
beach in.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a training bathing suit. I don't. Yeah, we call it costumes in South Africa.
Oh, okay, training bathing suit. So a bathing suit that's like you're gonna swim in, something you would compete in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense why you'd measure it. If it was just like one that you just went to the beach with your friends, you just go in and try it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so when was your first sport you played outside of the horse riding?
So alongside horse riding, I loved field hockey. Like hockey was one of my favorite things. So I would play that
Field
every
hockey
week.
is hockey with you're just in your shoes, you run around on a field?
Yeah, with a stick, and yeah,
Okay.
you hit the ball. Yeah.
Okay.
So I absolutely adore, like that was like one of my favorite sports at school. I love the speed and the agility and the, like, to be honest, I don't think I was that good with the ball, but I was fast, and I was very like tenacious. Like if the ball went past me, I'd run back for that ball, man. Like I never used to like let shit get past me. So I loved hockey, and then I played squash, I played tennis, I tried a little bit of netball, except I didn't really fit the profile of a netballer. Um, and I did athletics to a small degree.
What's
So
that
I
athletics? Is that track and field?
yeah, like I actually, funny enough, I'm only 1.61, but at junior school, I was one of the best at high jump, which I thought was pretty weird because I was definitely one of the smallest kids. But in
Do you think horse riding helped that from just being in that? When I think of horse riding, you're basically just standing in like a half squat,
true to an
right?
extent, but as a kid as well, like I was obsessed. Obviously, I was obsessed with horse riding, but I was obsessed with playing horse games. So as a kid, I used to jump over everything in the house.
Mm.
So I would build courses for myself to jump, and then I would run around for hours just jumping over shit in like I'd jump over the furniture. I remember I once actually snapped one of my mom's coffee tables in half because I jumped, but my knee came down on the coffee table, and then the coffee table head snapped off. So I don't
Did you
know,
get in trouble
maybe,
for that? Did you get in trouble for that?
yeah, my mom told me to stop doing that. And I nearly actually, I broke my pinky toe doing that as well because I ran around the sofa and my pinky hooked on the corner of the sofa, and I broke my toe. But I love jumping. So I think maybe that's where I got that from, the
You're only five
high
foot
jump.
three.
Yeah, 161, yeah.
Oh my goodness! If we talked, I would be looking down at you. I never look down at anyone.
Yeah,
Five
no,
foot three.
I wasn't blessed with the tall gene.
I went through all your entire Instagram account. I didn't see anything that made me think that you were 5'3". You look tall. You look
Oh,
tall on
that's
Instagram.
good to know.
Yeah.
Someone else said that to me. They thought I was taller. I can't remember who it was. Hmm. But yeah, no, I'm sure.
This field hockey, how old were you when you played it?
So I played it. I think I started
She is
in high
not taller
school.
than me. She is not taller than me. Easy, easy. I'm a 5'5". Okay, go on. Sorry.
5 for 5. Still got a way to go. No, I started in my first year of high school. That was probably when I properly started playing. And I played the whole way through high school. I think I ended on like second team. Um, but I always had a little bit of imposter syndrome when it came to my sporting ability. So like as soon as I reached a bit of like a higher level, I all of a sudden started to doubt my capabilities and have a little bit of like self-sabotage of like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough to be here. And that probably has been like something throughout my CrossFit development that has been one of the biggest things to overcome for me, because I've seen how many times in other sporting things that it's like held me back, because I know it's not my ability, it's just my head. So yeah, like from a competitive point of view, CrossFit is the most competitive I've been in any kind of sport, I guess.
Are you married now?
No,
Do you have kids now?
no.
No kids, not married. And when you played this field hockey game, what would be the longest you would run? Like, is that basically like you run like 20 or 30 meters explosively, and then that's it, and then you get a few seconds break?
Yeah, like I mean, it depended on how strong the team was that you were playing. Like if there was a really strong team and they ended up making you run back and forth, you do a lot more running. I remember being pretty damn exhausted, like playing hockey, especially when I moved from a defense position to a forward position, because then you do a lot more running up and down. Um, but I actually wouldn't even know how long we ran. But I used to run a lot outside of sport. So when I started high school, I became like addicted to gym. So I would do all my sport and then I would go to the gym and then I would do like whatever I thought I needed to do in the gym. I would run on the treadmill, I'd do a million abs, try and get a six pack, and yeah, just like play around in the gym for hours. And that kind of persisted after school into university. I would spend hours in the gym, but mainly to balance out the partying lifestyle, because otherwise I would have got really fat. Um, yeah.
Do
So
you Gemma, did someone introduce you to the gym? Like, do you remember the first time you went to a gym? Was there someone like, "Hey, let's come to a gym. Let's go to a gym"?
so my mom used to go to these like aerobics classes with this lady, and I used to think she was so cool. And so I started going to her, like I used to do like Taibo. I don't know
Mm.
if you've ever seen of
Yeah,
like Taibo.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard as shit.
So hard, but
Yeah.
also like yeah, so I used to go and do Taibo classes in the evenings, and then I used to do spinning. I was
Mhm.
like addicted to spinning, and then the spinning ladies opened up like a bodycon class, and then I used to just do like I would go and do spinning in the morning and bodycon in the afternoon, and if I didn't have a spinning class, I'd do cardio. So I don't really remember I remember the Taibo lady being like, oh man, I want to be fit like her, but I don't know how I
Did
got
she have an
into the gym.
amazing body?
Yeah, she did, and she was really pretty.
What was when you see like what stood out for you for her? Like her shoulders, her arms, her hamstrings. What did she have that you were like, "Oh, that's a cool muscle." Did you remember a curve on her body and you're like, "Damn, that's the one."
No, I just remember her looking in shape and being
Mhm.
like really toned, like nothing like what us CrossFit girls look like. I would say the first CrossFit girl I probably looked at and thought that's what I want to look at was Brooke Ence.
Oh,
And it was I
wow.
think 2015 or
That's a
2016,
pretty high bar. That's crazy.
right?
Because she's a genetic freak too. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from her hard work, but I mean, if you see her family, like her mom is a genetic freak.
Yeah. Well, she was one of the first people I remember seeing and being like, "Oh my God, I want to look like that girl. Like, how
Mm,
did she get like that?" And
mm.
that probably like stuck in my mind more than anything else. And then CrossFit wasn't really an option where I was living. Like, we didn't have a functional fitness gym in my university town. We didn't even have a CrossFit, so like it didn't really occur to me to do it, and I didn't really know what it was. Up until I don't know if you know Dave Levy. Have you heard of Dave Levy?
Yeah, yeah. Why does that name sound familiar? Was he a games athlete?
Yeah, so he competed through Africa. I think he competed at the games through Africa
Oh yeah. I know who this
And
guy
then
is.
he's also
I,
done masters and like come second or
yeah,
third.
he's a cool looking dude. He's a really cool looking man.
Yeah, hardcore. So he came to my uni and did a whole like CrossFit seminar and like explained to us what CrossFit was, had us all doing power cleans. And then I remember thinking, this is a freaking cool sport because I spend about 2 hours in the gym anyway, doing God knows what. Like if I think about it now, what the heck was I even doing? And and then Dave Levy comes along and shows us this, and I'm like, this is competitive gym. Like, does not get better than that. Now I can do the gym, but I can do it for a reason. So I'd say like Dave Levy kind of opened my eyes to what CrossFit was, which was pretty cool.
Was he a he was an African Games athlete? Because it's weird because normally African Games athletes wouldn't stand out to me, but I fully remember this guy.
He's qualified multiple years, and he's also qualified as masters. I mean, I think he qualified this year.
Through Africa.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up. There's not a lot of pictures of this guy on the internet.
No,
This isn't a very good one. And when I tried to pull up his Instagram, I just got a little kid. It, I want to go back to that in 1 second. So you don't really have a seminal moment when you introduced to the gym. You went to you were just your mom went, and then you just became comfortable in that space, and like you were just comfortable just in gyms in general because it was introduced when you were little, just training and working out.
yeah, like which I also thought was weird because like none of my family actually went to gym other than my older brother, but he's like a bean sprout. He's so tall. He's like 6 foot something. He likes endurance sports, and he would go to the gym. But none of my sisters or my even my younger brother used to really gym, and I just became like super obsessed with the gym. Like yeah, I was actually more obsessed with weight loss to be honest, but not
Me
very
too. Me
successful.
too. Me too. Me too. Seriously. Me too. Yeah. I wanted to be.
But not
I wanted to look like Mark Wahlberg in the Calvin Klein ads.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, listen. That was I want to look like Brooke Ends, so we have the same ambition there.
Hey, why do you think you're so normal?
Why am I so normal?
Yeah. Like when you talk, you're not embarrassed, and like you're so well adjusted. Why are you so well adjusted? Is that from because of the did the horse world require you like to talk to a lot of people because of the politics? Like why are you so
No,
normal?
I think it's because I'm a CrossFit coach. I have to
Oh,
be,
oh,
yeah.
oh.
Like, listen, I make I'm not I wouldn't say like I'm a prim and proper person. Like I'm very much what you see is what you get. And
Yeah, I love you. You're cool as shit.
uh,
This is easy. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to interview some fucking kid from Africa who's fucking embarrassed at every third thing she says. You're amazing. Yeah.
oh, thank you. Yeah,
So
no,
so so CrossFit
yeah.
coaching, you weren't like that till you started coaching CrossFit, you think? Like it forced you were you ever shy or
Oh, okay. I still am very, very shy. If you talk to me about something I think I don't know enough on.
Uh-huh.
So, if I know that I've like maybe under researched something or I'm not confident in what I'm speaking about, I get really nervous. So I was really bad at public speaking, really bad. But from a coaching perspective, every time I moved, so when I first started coaching, I shadowed a lot. And I said to my boss, I was like, listen, I'm not going to coach until I've shadowed enough to feel confident enough to give a class. And the same thing when I moved to Cape Town, the guy made me shadow 80 hours before I actually took my own CrossFit class.
What a dick. I
Um,
mean, what a great coach.
Well, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my 80 hours. And I think I was in the gym from 5 a.m. when the first CrossFit started until 7 p.m. And I did every single day, shadowed every single class. I was just like, I need to be a sponge because my, as much as I'm competitive and I love being an athlete, like my passion lies in coaching. And before I started um, thinking or like seeing the slight pathway towards maybe an athletic ambition. I wanted to be like on CrossFit seminar staff. Like the first thing when I did my level 1, I was like, I want to do this. I want to be those people giving the CrossFit seminars, traveling and doing that and teaching all these people. So like for me, coaching is like a passion and it's a purpose. And
Mm.
yeah, genuinely makes me really happy.
Do you still want to be on seminar staff?
Yeah, I would love to be on seminar staff. Like I just, so many people have told me, oh, it's who you know, like, and I'm not well
I
known,
could
so
introduce you to the guy. You would be great. They would love you. I mean, you're made for it. Yeah.
yeah.
After this, I'm gonna connect you to my buddy. My buddy runs the seminar staff over at CrossFit.
Oh, that would be amazing because like I still like now I'm coming up to actually renew my level 2 and I'm thinking like, do I take this further, like this CrossFit role that was initially my goal when I started? Um, do I pursue like going level 3, level 4, or is it like a dead end because the chances of me even getting in is like so minimal that I shouldn't even try? So that was kind of where I was sitting because like, and being an athlete is not forever, and like I do have such a passion for like the coaching side of it. So yeah, that's probably why I'm a little bit more open when it comes to speaking.
And I have a great record. I think I've recruited probably at least 30 seminar staff in my career, and all of them flourished.
Oh
Like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you're in good hands. Hey, I want to go back to Dave Levy. Where did he come? That he introduced you to CrossFit? Like, where did he show up?
So I went to university in a really small town called
Mm-hmm.
Grahamstown,
Mm-hmm.
and Grahamstown is about an hour and 30 minutes away from Port Elizabeth, where Dave Levy owns a gym.
Okay.
And I don't know for what reason why he came to Grahamstown. I think he had just won the Africa regional and maybe went to the games for the first time or something like that. But he was coming to I studied human kinetics and ergonomics, which is like a facet of sports science. And he came and offered a talk to our department, and then whoever, like, it was open to members of the gym as well, and a talk, and then like an activity where we did like a WOD. And yeah, that's how I met Dave for the first time, and I was like, wow, this guy's freaking impressive. And like I said, competitive gym, what gets better than that?
How many people were in the talk that he gave?
It was quite big. Like there were quite a lot of us. I think a lot of my year in uni was there. I don't really remember all too much. It's like a little bit hazy. I just remember
Was it like
Dave.
50 or 20 or?
I think it was over 20 for sure.
And they were students or students and professors?
No, mostly students. And then I think like our postgraduate students. So like, yeah, the guys who were our tutors and stuff like that were there, who were all more physically involved and practical.
Do you was there obviously he's physically impressive, but do you remember anything that he said that caught your eye either like, hey, this is the greatest way to get adaptation, or hey, you have to stop eating sugar, or God didn't, or none of these movements were created by man, they're part and parcel with your DNA. Like, was there anything that you were like, whoa, what did he just say?
Uh, I don't remember words. I just remember how I felt after my first WOD, and I was like, "Holy crap, that was cool!"
Mm.
you know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what Greg used to say. He'd be like, if anyone ever asked you what CrossFit is, be like, hey, do you have an hour tomorrow morning? I need to show you.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was it. And then yeah, like after that, uh, I had just enrolled in like a master's program at my uni, and a friend of mine who actually competed with me at semis, she was studying the same as me, the same degree as me, and we used to go to this like local coffee shop and get coffees in between classes, and on the wall, because obviously Instagram wasn't really a thing and Facebook was a thing, but people weren't as active with advertising and stuff on there back then. Um, there was a little flyer on the wall with those little tags you could rip off, and it was an advert for CrossFit, and it was CrossFit Grahamstown opening this time, get your first like on ramp class on this date, and then take the email. So I just
How long after was that then that you met Dave Levy?
So I met Dave Levy in I think 2013, and this was 2014.
Okay,
Because
okay.
yeah, so this was the beginning of 2014, because I think I just started the master's program, and me and my friend were at the coffee shop, and I took the tag and I said, "You're gonna do this with me." I told her, I was like, "You're gonna do CrossFit with me," because we were like really good fitness buddies. We did athletics together, athletics training together, and yeah, so I dragged her along to CrossFit, and we did our first on ramp class before, and I was like one of those people that couldn't couldn't do the push jerk. I just couldn't get the timing right, and I was also the first to fall on the box jump. So that was my start.
Could you even do one pull up?
Oh, no way,
No,
no way.
yeah.
Yeah, I hung there like, yeah, no, couldn't do anything really.
Do you
I thought I
remember
was
your
strong.
first pull up?
Do I remember my first pull up? No, but it was probably a kipping pull up.
Yeah, crazy. It's
Yeah.
those are the most amazing journeys. Someone who can't do one pull up or has never done a pull up in their whole life, and then now they're a games athlete where it's just like, I could wake you up in the middle of the night and I could wake you up at 3 and you could do 10 and go back to sleep in 30 seconds, right? I mean, it's just
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like I remember we had to do this Spartan race as like it wasn't a Spartan race like what you think Spartan is. It was like run on our field at university. We got into like teams and we had to push like roll a tire, and someone had to do 50 push-ups, someone had to do 20 pull-ups, and you guys had to run in this thing. And anyway, it was called like this little Spartan race. And I remember like uh one girl could do a pull up, one like a couple of pull ups, but I couldn't even do a proper push up. And then
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, okay, you're going to do the push ups. I'm like, oh my God, I can only do like 5, you know? And I thought I was strong and I thought I was like fairly fit, but like,
yeah.
yeah, joining CrossFit like made me see, all right, no, you're not really either of those things.
So 2014, now it's been 10 years. So at 22, you find CrossFit and you dip your toe in. After you go into that gym, do you become obsessed? Like, do you immediately start doing it 5 days a week, 6 days, 7 days a week?
Yeah, so me and my mate Emma, we used to go before uni started. We would go to the 7:30 class or the 6:30 class, and then we would normally train and then stay after and do like I don't know whatever else we felt like doing. Um, and pretty soon after joining, the owner at the time, it was only her and her husband, and she needed coaches. So I don't know, I stood out to her, I guess, and she was like, we'd love to have you come for an interview with us and whatever. And then we'd love to have you, working with us. Would you be interested in being a CrossFit coach? And I was like, hell yes. So that was when they then decided to send me to Cape Town to do my level 1. Yeah. And that
What year was
was
that?
that was also 2014. So I hadn't
Okay.
even been doing CrossFit. I think it was like the middle of the year because I started CrossFit in the beginning of the year. And then by the middle of the year, I got my level 1 and then started coaching there at that gym. But it's crazy because the perception or our perception of CrossFit then is so different to my perception of CrossFit now. Like, it's probably the reason why I'm dealing with so many injuries is because how stupid I was back then, you know?
Oh, yeah.
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 Chris Beesterfield, is uni free? Listen, don't ever use that word free. You don't even know what you're talking about. You mean, do the rich people pay for it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, so the rich people don't pay for it. Don't ever use the word free. It's one of the dumbest things they say in the United States. Your Medicare, your healthcare is free. No, you fucking moron.
Someone's
Nothing's
paying.
free. Yeah, someone's working really hard to take care of your ass and put you and make them dependent on you.
Yeah, no, there's not many things you can, I guess, get for free in South Africa. It's all from your pocket.
Hey, when Americans meet Australian people, they're kind of like blown away by it because they seem so much more gregarious than us and free and open and like less judgmental. It's always like, wow. And especially we probably notice it in the women. They just seem more fun. I wonder if that's what I'm picking up from you. I wonder if it's like that in South Africa too. You have more of a culture of just like
Like
you guys
less
seem like you're
conservative.
yeah, you just seem like you seem like you're having fun in life. Like the box that they force you to grow up in isn't as constricted. And by box I mean the
I know what you
cultural or
mean.
psychological aspects of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that about Australians because I actually thought the same thing.
Like they
When
drink out of a shoe.
yeah, we drink out of shoes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shit like that. Like Americans will be like, "Oh, that's gross." Like we're so close-minded.
I think like I had a really fun kind of childhood and like university experience, because like now I'm super focused in everything that I do, like, well, from a training point of view, but like I was I used to have a lot of fun. Like I used to go out quite a lot. I was very social. I definitely don't feel as social anymore. Um, but yeah, I just think for me as well, I've always been like, what you see is what you get. And I don't know if this is an unfortunate thing, but like I fairly regularly embarrass myself, not intentionally, but it happens. So I've had to learn to get like a bit of a thick skin when it comes to that, and like
Oh,
laugh at myself and not take myself so seriously. Um, and yeah, I don't know. That's probably contributed to me being a little bit more forthcoming, because fuck shit happens, like,
fuck shit does happen.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite things that happens at my house. Fuck shit. But I have 3 little boys. There's not. It's been reduced.
I
Okay.
actually, just on that three little
Yes.
boys thing, I
Yes.
think I realized, I think it was yesterday or today, that I actually followed your boys and not you on Instagram.
Smart. That's probably the best way to go.
In fact, your kids are probably the reason why I would have children, and if I did, I'd want them to be as cool as your kids.
Oh, they're so
Because
cool. Thank you. They're so cool.
honestly, I have watched so many of the videos, just like can't get over like how incredible your children are. I'm like, these kids are going to be, who knows what they're going to be. They can do anything. So cool.
Thank you. It means the world to me. I'm so lucky. Yesterday it was 7 o'clock at night and I just sat down for an hour and watched them play with each other. And they're such good boys. God, they're such good boys. It's so easy. Kids are so easy. Um, if you love them, I tell my kids I love them a lot, and then I just crazy rules. There's just crazy discipline,
Yeah.
just crazy discipline, and tell them you love them, and then they're free. They can just yeah, it's great. Thank you. That means the world to me that you said that. Now I like you even more. You already had me.
Oh yeah.
So you meet Dave Levy. You're already, but at that point in uni, you're already into what'd you call it? Human ergonomics,
Yeah, human kinetics and ergonomics.
ergonomics, and then you start moving and you're introduced to all these new movements and you get obsessed with it, and then your coaches see it there, so then they ask you to be a coach. And what about the competitive side? When are you like, oh, I'm going to turn this into something
Well,
competitive for me?
this is the thing. Like, I feel like because I never had a real direction with what I wanted from CrossFit as a sport, the process just took so much longer than it needed to be. Like, if I had have got maybe my own coach soon after finding CrossFit, like my progression would be so much better. I wouldn't have been so stupid by like training myself into a hole, because you think when you start CrossFit, it's just about killing yourself in every session and hurting as much as you can.
Mm.
And your body obviously tells you otherwise in some way, shape, or form. So for a good few years, that's what I thought I needed to do to get better at CrossFit. Um, and it was only really, okay, obviously, I think in 2019, I hurt my shoulder. And then I realized, oh shit, I have to be a lot more smart with how I train. Um, and um yeah, moving to Abu Dhabi, I got my own coach. But just going back to the competitive side, in 20 I like did a couple of local comps in Cape Town in like 2017, 2018, and then in 2018 I qualified for regionals in a team in the Meridian regional. So it was myself and then my boyfriend at the time, Mark Timlin. He was there with me, and one of
Do
my
you have a
really good
boyfriend
friends.
now?
I do, yeah.
You do? Oh, because someone really, I think this is my favorite candidate for Tyson Bagent. Yeah, you would be a great girlfriend for Tyson Bagent.
Who's that? Am I gonna
He's
lose out now?
he's a guest that comes on the show frequently. He's young. He's very young. I think he's only 23, but
Oh yeah.
he needs
That's
someone like you.
that's not in my age category, you see. I've tried younger and I don't really
I understand. I
I
understand.
prefer I prefer the dad type now.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I totally young men are a mess, but man, he would flourish with you. Someone with a
Oh.
rock solid head like you. Okay. You can look him up afterwards, and
I
he's gonna be filthy rich. He's the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. We have it's an American football team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So let's go back. 4 years in, you do a couple local comps, then you qualify for a team on the Meridian, and then also
Yeah.
you threw in there that like, hey, it didn't have to be this way. You probably could have gotten better, faster, and healthier if you would have known your goals and maybe gotten a coach or someone more knowledgeable in the beginning.
Exactly. But I think because where I was living, if I looked at the caliber of athletes and then I looked at myself, it was kind of like I would never get there. Like, yes, I'm competitive. Yes, I love this. I'm going to put everything I can into training because I did. I trained a shitload. But if I looked at what those other girls could do and how far, like, I couldn't even do a muscle up when I moved to Cape Town. I could, yeah, like, I couldn't handstand walk. Like, I didn't see how I would get there. But yeah. And then going to regionals and seeing also like how far I was away from like just even some of the team competitors. Um, and also not having the resources. Like in Cape Town, I wouldn't have even known who to have as a coach, let alone be able to afford a coach there.
Yeah.
And like, because it's
I mean, you
expensive.
had a pretty legendary guy, the Jason Smith. You have Jason Smith over that. He's South African, right?
Yeah, but he's in Johannesburg, so I
Oh,
was in Cape Town.
because
Um,
he's the weird thing about him is like anyone who knows anything, like who's dug into CrossFit or been around. I mean, Africa does have that's the guy in Africa, right? I mean, everyone in the CrossFit space knows who he is. He's a great guy, but I guess so. You're saying too far away.
yeah, and then there was another gym that was super competitive in Cape Town. It was the one that used to run the seminars actually called Cape CrossFit.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
who's the owner of that?
Chris Oman.
Okay, it's not who I'm thinking because there were also 2 level 1 staff there. I think they were a married couple. Super hot, tall, blonde girl. I want to say super hot, tall, nice, crazy nice.
I
And then
don't
and I
know.
want to say she had a boy. Is the man's name Chad?
Oh, Chad. Yeah, Chad. He again Johannesburg CrossFit
Oh,
Josie, I think.
okay, that was Johannesburg. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Um.
Do you know his
So
wife? Do you
anyway,
know who I'm talking about? The tall blonde lady. She looks like she's a movie star.
no, I haven't met his wife. I've only
Okay.
met him.
And I don't even know.
Um.
Maybe they're both. Maybe they're not even a couple. I just assumed they were a couple because when I would see them on the seminar staff together. I mean, I'm just totally just
Yeah,
okay.
I don't like.
She
Yeah, in
looked like
Joburg.
Charlize Theron.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't. I
No.
haven't seen
Oh,
her.
okay. Okay.
I'll keep my
Okay.
eye out now, though. Now that I
Okay.
know what to look for.
Okay. Well, you're in Dubai. You're not gonna see her.
I saw Chad though when I was back in South Africa now. So, but
What was
yeah.
his last name?
Now I want to say Chad Theron, but now
Oh,
you.
then maybe they are. Then maybe they are married, and maybe she did. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. That she looked like Charlize Theron. And let me see who Charlize Theron is. I don't know what I'm
Chad.
talking about. Is Charlize Theron a tall blonde lady?
Yeah, but I don't think she would be Charlize Theron. Because are you talking about the actress?
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. She did look like Charlize Theron. Yeah, and maybe her last name was Theron. Is Charlize Theron South African? No shit,
Yeah,
she is.
she is. Our claim to fame.
All right, maybe they're related. I never even thought
Mm,
of that. And he's really handsome too. He looks like a buff Ken doll.
does actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Two. Uh,
2018.
2018. Let's go. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Help me out here. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so we actually qualified for that regional. Remember when I think you can still do it, but if you have a roster and those scores go and get you into the regional.
Yep.
So we had Dina Swift. You know Dina Swift? Did that ring a bell? She's competing masters this year, 35 category. Um,
Is she Australian?
she's in Australia currently, actually. She's just relocated there. Um,
I know a Swift in Australia.
she's just she qualified now through masters, and she was going individual and did the open and then had to have knee surgery, but did really well in Africa. So with her score we were able to qualify a team to regionals
I
in
recognize her.
yeah.
Okay. So
So
you went on a team with her in 2018?
no, we used her score to get onto a team into the region.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you were hooked. Your trip to the regionals
Madrid.
got you hooked.
Yeah, so that was a really fun experience, and like ideally I would have wanted to do team again, but then the following year was when CrossFit went crazy and they did the two opens. I think that was
Yep,
2019.
yep.
But the first open, I hurt my shoulder just after Fittest in Cape Town, um, and so then I was out for like a few months. I couldn't do anything on my shoulder really, and I missed the open, and yeah, I didn't really think too much. I just wanted to get back to training and being mobile, because one of the biggest things that frightened me over that point was the fact that like I couldn't coach properly with like having one arm, you know. So I remember that was the first time where my mindset around like wanting to be the best and having such a big ego in such a small gym, where like obviously as a coach like I was going to be good, but I used to get real like upset when people beat me.
Hmm.
I know it sounds so stupid, but like I was really struggled to be happy for my friends when they were doing better than me in workouts. And watching the open and having the injury, and then it really humbled me and made me think like, I don't want to be that girl that can't cheer people on in workouts if they're beating me. Like, if someone beats me, I'm going to turn around and be like, fuck yeah, you deserve that because I gave my all and you're better, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So that was a big learning curve for me, from like leaving your ego at the door and also just being a better freaking human, and being able to be happy for other people's successes. Um, and then after that, I think I was okay by the next open. That was 2019. And then COVID came around in 2020, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was off, like, obviously no one was competing. 2020, spent most of the time at home, just training out of the garage, and didn't stop at all. Um, and then at the end of 2020, we decided, myself and my boyfriend at the time, again Mark Timmerlin, who moved to the UAE with me, we decided we needed to leave South Africa. Like, we hadn't got a salary increase in 5 years. um, I didn't move to be competitive. I moved to like be exposed to better people, better athletes, better coaches, to be a better coach myself. And then I thought,
Why UAE? Why not Australia or the United States or somewhere else? Why UAE? Had other people
um,
blaze that trail for you? Like, had you heard? Did someone tell you, hey, this is the spot?
that's a good question. Oh yes, actually, so
I would
in
never think of going there. I've never heard of anyone from the United States in my life being like, hey, I moved to the UAE.
yeah, well, I think it's not for everyone, that's for sure. But when you find your place here, like, it's really good. But what happened was in 2019, a local lady came to Cape Town and she requested a personal trainer, and she phoned up the gym that I was working at, and I was doing the admin there as well. And she said she wanted a trainer 6 days a week. She wants to do CrossFit. She works out with a South African lady in Abu Dhabi, Megan
Mhm,
McDermott.
mhm,
So she was
mhm.
getting trained by Megan McDermott here in Yas. And she was like, do I have space for her? So I was like, yeah, sure. So she came in and trained with me for 5 weeks. And at the end of it, she was like, you need to come to Abu Dhabi. You would love it there. It's so amazing. The gym is amazing. We have like really good athletes there. And that was then when I looked into what Vogue was and CrossFit Yas. And then I saw, oh my God, there's Jamie Green there and Elliot Simmons and Anthony
Ah,
Moss. And I was just like, holy shit, this place looks so cool. So I actually got in contact with Anthony Monks's wife, Sabine, who was on the team with them. And she was like, we started the interview process, but then my boyfriend got like fired and rehired in 1 week. So when he got fired, he was like, we need to get out of the country. And then he got rehired and he was like, all right, let's stay. And then thank God we stayed, because COVID hit, and I definitely would have not have had the financial capacity to look after myself here in the UAE. Like, living is so expensive if you're not earning, and it was just a bit crazy. So yeah, I revisited the Abu Dhabi thing after COVID when things settled down, and then got
sorry.
the
Where
job.
did you end up at during COVID? Where did you do COVID at? In Africa or Abu Dhabi?
No, in Africa.
Oh, in Africa.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he said, let's leave. When he said, let's leave, you weren't already in the UAE? I got a little lost there in the story. No. Okay.
No,
You were okay. You were here.
yeah,
You were
I
in
was
Africa.
I was in Africa, and then he was like, "Let's go. Let's see if you can find another job, and then maybe I'll come if you get a job." And so I looked, and then he got fired and rehired in the same week.
Okay.
Then,
So you stayed.
because he got rehired, we stayed. But then COVID hit, and then it was actually a saving grace, because if we had have come here, we would have like crashed and burned, had no money, and hadn't been here long enough to form clients and stuff like that. So when we came in 2021, again, I didn't actually have the athletic ambition per se. It was more like, I'm going to train my ass off. If that's good enough to be competitive, then cool. That was kind of my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Be the best coach I can be the best, train as hard as I can, and then see what happens.
And then now 2024, here you are. You're going to the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
So you went home to Africa to compete in the semifinals there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you know the field pretty well there? Like when you looked at the leaderboard, are you like, okay, these are the girls, I have a chance?
So, yeah, I would say I definitely knew, for instance, like going into the final event of day 3, I knew
What
that,
you took first?
which I took first, yeah,
Yeah.
which going into that event, I knew Christina was exceptionally good at gymnastics. Like, she proved it in the handstand walk. Last year in semis, she did all those ruck muscle ups unbroken, and I couldn't freaking string like one complex together properly. So that was very stressful. But yeah, Christina, I knew she was good at muscle ups. And so actually, I'd say the Wednesday before the event like even started, I started visualizing my final. um I started imagining myself. I knew Christina was good, so I knew I had to be just as good or better. And that meant that I had to do 15 muscle ups unbroken, which I'd only ever done once, and that was when I was fresh.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, my friend said to me, my coach and also my one of my best friends in here in Abu Dhabi, she was like, we're sitting on the bike after event 4, and she's like, listen, do you want to hear the points? And I was like, yeah, man, tell me. I was like, I'm not going to be one of those people that sees the leaderboard and freaks and cracks under pressure. I was
You
like,
only
tell me.
one. Does only one person go?
Yeah, only one.
So if you don't take first, you don't go.
Yeah, so leading up to this event, this is what now we're discussing on the assault bike. So I'm sitting there, and she's like, listen, if you want to hear the points or not. And I was like, just give it to me. I was like, tell me what I need to do, um to win this. And she's like, well, listen, if Christina wins this event, you guys will tie, but she will have 3 event wins and you'll only have 1, which means she'll go to the CrossFit Games. So she was like, you need a win. And I was like, okay. And then we went down to the like athlete chill area, and Evie was like, she's like, do you want me to stay with you here, or can I go train? I said, no, go. Like, go. I need to think of a plan. Oh, we called with my coach as well. And he was saying, like, what do you think you can do? And I was like, listen, Ant, like, I've just been visualizing
Wait,
myself
who's
doing
your coach?
Anthony Monks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I said to him, I was like, I've been visualizing myself performing 15 muscle ups in this workout for the last like maybe 4 days. So I was like, I'm gonna go for it. Like, I'm just gonna go. And he was like, all right, mate, like we can maybe call, like have a break, have a chill, and then we can maybe call before your event. So I was like, sweet. And then Evie left me, and I lay on the beanbag, and I just again sat there visualizing. Because funnily enough, out of all the events that I did over semis, event 6 was the only one I never practiced in full. It was the only one I never did.
That was the salt bike, and then 15 muscle ups, and then carry the dumbbells with the lunging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't practice that one in its whole format at all. I didn't even know like what I could hold on the bike going into the muscle ups, because yeah, I hadn't really done it.
Why
And then
hadn't you
yeah.
done it? Why was that the only one you hadn't done?
So the before the after quarterfinals, I had like something going on in my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and like
The
every
same
time,
shoulder that had bothered you before?
yeah, the injury, like I had a shoulder injury in 2019, and then yeah, I've got another one. So just nursing that at the moment. But the shoulder was being a bit weird, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I was just being very conservative leading up to the semis, and I didn't want to do too much high volume muscle ups and stuff, because with toes to bar it was fine. And the only thing that really bothers my shoulder is butterfly chest to bars. So when I saw the workouts coming into semis, I was like, thank freaking God there's no butterfly chest to bars, because if there was, I would have to kip them. I kept them in the open. Like when I did the open workout, I had to kip. And yeah, so I hadn't done the muscle up one just out of conservation for the shoulder. But then also the week before semis, the Saturday, so Saturday, and then we were competing on the Friday, I twisted my ankle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I twisted it like quite bad. I couldn't walk on it for 2 days.
On a runner, on an air runner?
No, I was doing box jump overs and I stepped off the box, stepped normal, like a normal person, and then I was turning to walk towards the wall to go to the wall balls. And I don't know what happened. My foot just like went on the side and I felt a pop in my ankle.
What
And
shoes were you wearing? What shoes were you wearing?
Nanos.
Oh.
Yeah. But what I noticed, the nanos have got quite a rigid border around them. And if you turn your foot, it's quite like rough. I don't know if that's normal in all shoes. But anyway, I felt this pop in my ankle and I looked at my foot and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I think my ligament is gone. Like I did have a little panic. It wasn't painful, which freaked me out even more, because I was like, if a ligament pops, sometimes it's not painful. And so I was with one of the other girls who I was competing against, and she, like, I lay down and I sat there and I got some ice and I was like, oh my God. I messaged my coach, I messaged my chiropractor, and I was like, I think my ankle's fucked up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete this weekend. By this point, I called with my mate Evie, who was coming as my coach to support me at the event. And I said to her, listen, I don't think you need to come. I don't even know whether I can compete. I was like, it's so bad. Like, I can't walk on it. It's a little bit swollen. I don't know how I'm going to do 70 box jump overs, 4Ks of running, 500 double unders, and 70
Gemma,
kilo
where
front
were the
squats.
semifinals? Were they in Johannesburg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I took like some anti-inflammatories the week before, and then like that week of, and by Friday, I couldn't really, I could feel my ankle, but it didn't, not enough to distract me, and obviously all the adrenaline and stuff. So yeah, that, and that's why I couldn't really then practice that lunge event, because I didn't want to lunge with those heavy dumbbells on my ankle.
So you get out there, and only one person goes. You have 560 at the end of the weekend. You had 561, and she has 555. When you went into that event, it must have been closer
Yeah,
because she had
well,
just taken first in event 5. So you
yeah,
guys
and
were probably like, just how many points were you separated going into the event?
uh flip, I can't even, I don't
Less than
know, but
5. Less than 5.
it was really tight. The whole weekend was tight, like
So
me
she would
and
have beat you. Is each place 5 points or 10 points?
oh
Anyway, you only
goodness.
beat her by 6 points. So you knew you had to beat her.
Yeah, no, I knew I had to beat it, but you know what was funny is that when I was lunging down the floor, because I don't know if you actually watched the event, but like I'm lunging down the floor and the crowd is going crazy. And out the corner of my eye, like I can see a person, but I thought it was this other girl, Tana. So I'm going and I'm wondering, why is everyone going crazy? Like I could see all my family there, my friends, everyone's screaming for me. And I'm like, what? Why is everyone going so crazy? Like if Tana beats me, it's fine. I was like, as long as it's not Christina.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was Christina, but I couldn't see because I was like, I didn't want to look around and lose my balance on
But
the
she was in
lunges.
the lane next to you, right?
She was, but she was just enough behind that I couldn't
Okay.
see who it was out my side. And when we got to the muscle ups, Tana was next. I could see Tana jump up. So I assumed that Tana had finished the muscle ups before. Um,
She didn't even finish the workout.
no, I know. And then that's why when I turned around after putting the dumbbells down on the mat, I saw Christina and I was like, holy shit, Tana's over there. And it didn't click to me that it was actually Christina that was like on my tail the whole time. That's why everyone was going crazy.
Gemma, were you first off the bike?
I think I was like third off the bike.
Did you know if Christina got off before you?
I got off before her. So I actually won the workout on the bike.
And then okay. And then did all 15 muscle ups unbroken?
Yeah.
Did you get any no reps?
No,
Because one no rep would have fucked you.
I know. My last maybe 5 reps of the 15 were like a bit of a struggle. And I just remember thinking you can't. I actually didn't think you can't fuck out now, because every other event I've had ring muscle ups, I always failed the last rep.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I couldn't think that going into this event. I knew I had to think you're going to get this muscle up, and yeah, got it. So that was really exciting, and probably one of my most proud moments from a individual growth point of view. Just to back myself and like do the work that needed to be done.
Yeah, people poo-poo Africa, but 15 muscle ups unbroken is world class. There were women, high-level women all over the world who weren't able to do that.
And yeah, I was I was
Did you put
very,
the
very
Did you put the dumbbells down?
no.
No shit. Good job. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That was a do or die moment for you.
it was. And like, yeah, I would have rather died clearly. But I looked at that was also one of my workouts that I looked at the time, and I was like, holy shit, like actually that was a competitive time in the world, which was really exciting for me. Like obviously the Tias and the Lauras are all under 3 minutes, but like the still like a few high level girls, like I was up there, so that was really exciting. Dip my
I'm
foot in the water there.
yeah. Uh, I'm looking over here at the. Yeah, that would have been third place. That's what the girl you would have beat the girl in Abigail Domet, who took first in California on the West
Yeah,
Coast. Yeah, that's crazy. It's an insane time.
yeah.
This so so then the event's over and they do that thing, at least here in the States. I don't know what they do in Africa, but no one knows who won. So you must know it's really close. You think you won, but you're still waiting for them to say something, right?
Well, I kind of knew, because I was obviously leading the whole time, and then if I got the 100 points or the 100, the first, which means I would have stayed ahead. So um,
So you knew.
yeah, I knew,
Was
but
Christina crying? Did you see Christina? Was she crying?
no, she was really good, like a really good sport. I think both of us had like higher expectations of ourselves last year, and we definitely have were improved how we navigate our expectations coming into the competition this year. Um, yeah, because I could definitely see a difference in her demeanor compared to last year, and I felt a difference in my demeanor this year compared to last year.
And you could sense hers. You could sense her demeanor was different too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Um.
Yeah.
Uh. When you win, do you know that you're going for sure, or are you like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it out there to the United States? What a journey.
Uh, no, I pretty much know I'm going for sure. I'm just like, I don't think I celebrate really well as a person in general. Um, that's when I get shy, I guess. Like I get shy when all of a sudden the attention's on me, and like I don't know how to be. Like I think there've been multiple occasions in competition setting where I've won like a lift or something, and then I just drop the bar and walk away like I did nothing, And I kind of felt like I stood after dropping, and everyone's going crazy for me, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay. Uh yeah. And I kind of like did the celebration, but like it wasn't how everyone else celebrated when they were all so happy. And
Yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't be more happy for myself, but I kind of maybe it's that expectation of like that's what I expected myself to do. Why am I happy about it? That was what I needed to do. And I did it. And now, like I look back now and I wish I kind of celebrated a bit more.
Were your parents there, or was your mom
My
there?
my older brother and his wife was there. My mom, no, she couldn't make it, but um, she was there the year before. So she visited me just before I competed this year, and then had to go back home. So yeah, but I had my brother there, which was nice.
And who will you come to the States with?
I'm bringing Evie with me again.
Just the two of you.
Yeah, just the two of us.
And when do you arrive?
So I actually still haven't booked my flights yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I need to get on that.
Are there any
Um,
are there any issues with coming to the States for you? Is it easy?
No, it's fairly easy. Like I get an ESTA visa with my Italian passport. South Africa would have been a different story. I would definitely probably not had made it here because the wait list for visa meetings is so long. But yeah, I've just I just need to get on it. I've booked my accommodation and everything. I just haven't booked the flights. I need to do that.
And what's the plan when you come? Will you come early?
Around probably the 28th, 29th
Okay.
of July. Yeah, I just don't want to have
That's
the
early. I
feeling.
mean, that's a week early.
Yeah, I don't want to get like jet lag and stuff. The flight's really far. And I would rather also have a little bit of time to just adjust there. Like travel can be quite stressful. So yeah, we're gonna come up a little bit early. And it's like such a long way to come. Like oh, this person asked you, is Evie the friend she started CrossFit with? No. I started CrossFit with Emma Holiday.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great name.
Yeah, she competed at semis. I think she finished 6th this year.
So you'll come a week early. You'll go straight to Texas. You'll go straight to Fort Worth.
So everyone, well, initially some of the guys at my gym, they said like I should stay in Dallas for a while and train there, and then go to Fort Worth, and then, yeah, and then I get a little bit of exposure of a little bit more of Texas. So I'm still undecided as to whether I want to do that or not. I don't really know.
And then how about afterwards? Will you stay afterwards?
No, because I can't. The gym that I work at now, there's only 3 of us coaching. So when I'm gone, there's only 2, and yeah, I can't leave them for too long.
Yeah. And then the heat. Being that you're in Abu Dhabi, I'm guessing you have no concerns about the heat.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it can't be worse than this.
I don't think it
I
can. I don't think it is. I mean, it's bad,
Yeah,
but I don't think it's like. I think you have them beat.
yeah. I'm not too bothered by the heat, to be honest. Like, obviously, it's shitty sometimes, and like everything's air-conned here, so I could say that I'm not really exposed to training in the heat. However, um, I train out of Vogue Fitness occasionally still, because I don't work at Vogue Fitness. I work at a gym called Sandbox, and Vogue, the open gym doesn't really have like a proper AC. So when you're training in there, it's like you're training outside. Like it's really humid in there. So I don't know. Hopefully that's enough.
Hey, Gemma, what about your boyfriend? He's not coming with you?
I don't really know yet what his plans are. He works between UAE and Australia. So if he can get off work, because he's just come back for his next contract here, and yeah, if he can get off work, he'll come. If he can't get off work, then he won't come.
Is he a CrossFitter?
He has done a fair amount of CrossFit. I wouldn't say he's a CrossFitter.
How did you
Um,
meet him?
in the gym, the only place I meet boys.
Oh, so he's a CrossFitter enough, meaning he came in there.
Yeah, but to the open gym to do weightlifting. Like he loves weightlifting, so he was doing like Olympic lifting and all that.
And how did you guys meet? Did you go over and say hi to him, or did he talk to you?
No, I had to go over and say hi.
You did. Did you
I
know? You're
did.
like, okay, I'm going to talk to this boy.
I did. I saw him. He came in with like a bunch of his friends, and they were like in the open gym. And I actually never train late in the day. I always train in the morning or the early afternoon because I'm normally working. But this day I had run out of time, so I was in the gym real late. And he came in with all his friends, and I saw this guy, and I was like, I need to go introduce myself. And he was actually the shyer one out of the guys, but he caught my attention the most.
Did you know? Like, I'm guessing because you're there, you know everyone there. Like, you knew he was new. Like, it was his first time there.
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. And like, yeah, definitely they stuck out a little compared to the type of people we have in the gym. So yeah, I was like, yep, I got to make the move here.
And then what do you say? You just walk over to him and say hi, and then you like pretend like you work. I mean, you do work there, but you introduce yourself as an employee and let them know if they need anything, they can ask you.
Yes.
Is that really that's the move?
That was it.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought,
good. Yeah.
yeah, you could have written the playbook there. And then
Were
like
there
I didn't
sparks right away?
uh I don't know. I still say that, like, I tell him that there was like this look in his eye when he like looked at me, but I don't know whether I was just seeing what I wanted to see, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, over the course of a few weeks, I was like always waiting around in the gym to see if him and his friends would come in. And yeah, and then eventually one morning I was on a morning shift and I came up the stairs and I saw him in the gym and he was on his own. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
like a weak gazelle just by itself,
exactly. So I was
ready to
like,
be
all
just
right.
snapped up at the water hole. Yep.
So I was literally thinking, if I'm gonna ask this guy for his number, because neither of us had really done that, I was like, it's gonna be now when none of his friends are around, and
Was that
like
the
if he
only
says
second time you'd seen him?
no, he'd been
Okay.
in the gym, and I'd spoken to him like many times before, but
Did
I
you have his
hadn't.
name yet? Did you get his name yet?
Yeah, I did. I got
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah.
So, although I couldn't, I remember like there were a few of them in there, so I couldn't hear properly, and the Australian accent's quite strong. So sometimes, like they would say their names, and I actually would get confused. So what I had to do was go to the front desk and
Wow.
ask the front desk person to tell me what the member's name was because
Yeah.
I couldn't hear when they
Yeah.
introduced themselves. Anyway, so
And
yeah,
then
so
did the front desk person know that you were crushing on this guy?
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was pretty much the rest was history after I got his number.
And then you're like, "Hey," and then you just text him, "Hey, you wanna do something?"
Yeah, this was the hard part because I was like, what do I even say to this guy? Like
Yeah.
it's not like you meet them in a bar and it's like open and casual and you just like, hey, I was like, now I got to think of something to say. I've asked him for his number. So yeah, I think I was probably really cringy actually. I was like, you guys look like you could be fun to hang around with or something like that. Very lame.
You could have been like, "Hey, I couldn't help but notice that, your second pull is off. Do you wanna come in and I'll help you with your, lifting?"
I should have. That would have been better. But that's where this is where I get shy, you see. I was like, oh. So anyway, so I ended up I think going to like hang out with him and his friends at like a pool, and then we all went out for dinner, and yeah, then pretty much the rest was history.
How long have you been dating?
A good few years now, like 2
Oh.
years.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
wild. And he comes
Yeah.
back and he comes back and forth. Does he come back and forth for work or comes back and forth to see you?
For work. But like it ties in quite well. Yeah, it ties in well with working and being here, and like when he's away, like I can just focus on all my stuff, and
Yeah.
when he's back, then we have that time. And yeah, it's worked out really well actually.
Have you been to Australia?
I went in December.
Oh, and you met his family?
No, we didn't go. Like Australia is huge, so we weren't where his family was. We were just kind of like Tasmania.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in Tasmania and a little bit of like Melbourne area, but his family is all like on the other side, but he
And
stays on that side.
and he's pretty mature and well put together?
Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a job. He travels back and forth. He sounds like he's got his shit together.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we
Yeah.
all in some ways don't have our shit together, but we make it
Sure.
work.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm 52 years old and I think I'm a fucking YouTuber. Yeah, shit. And no one's perfect.
Yeah, no. So we're happy. He's here now, and so it's been quite nice having him back.
Well, cool. Hey, absolutely awesome meeting you. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see you in person and cheer you on and put the camera in your face. Thanks for doing this. I know this was really last minute. What time is it there now?
Oh, it's only 7:30.
In the evening.
Yeah. Are you morning?
Yeah, it's 8:30 here in the
Oh
morning.
yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're like 11. You're what's the date for you? Is it the 5th?
No, it's the 4th. Oh,
Oh,
you're ahead, hey?
no, we're behind. So it's the
Oh,
morning of the
behind.
4th for me. Okay. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, so we're still on the same day. Yeah, no, I'm glad we actually got on the call because when your person was trying to set us up, I every evening I was actually working, so yeah, it was a bit hard to. But today was.
I knew. Souza told me he's like, "Hey, you got to look for her WhatsApp in the evening because I was like, "Hey, did we get this set up?" And he's like, "Dude, she's sleeping."
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's yeah. Thank you for having me. It was a surprise, very welcomed one.
Yeah, awesome to meet you, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Cool. And don't forget about the CrossFit seminar thing. I'm gonna hold you to
Oh
that.
yes, remind me on WhatsApp so that it's there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
Thank
smart.
you.
Okay, good job.
Okay.
Go
Well, have
get
a
it.
wonderful day.
All right, dear.
All right.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Gemma Rader. Wow, cool chick. Yeah, crazy cool. Make you want to leave wherever the fuck you're hiding in Morocco or wherever. Mike Poolboy, I'm leaving for Australia today. I'm gonna have so much sex with my girlfriend. Oh, that's awesome. Congrats, dude. Just got here to learn these guys don't know how time zones work. It's hard to understand when you think the Earth is flat. When you're a flat earther, you don't understand time zones anymore. Okay, who's this? What is this? Yeah, she'd be great seminar staff, right? She got her shit together. Oh yeah, cool. Anola Kai, sweet. Let's see if we can get Anol back on. Anol Kai, Souza. Can we schedule Anol? Saturday, $2,000. Kill Taylor. Crazy. $2,000. $2,000. All right. I'm glad she was so cool. I had built this whole story that this was going to be the hardest podcast ever, and it was so fucking easy in my head. Like I was expecting, I was not expecting someone like that. I don't expect it ever to be anyone who can talk. But then especially when I think of a young CrossFit Games athlete girl, I just think like can't talk, then divided by 2. She's awesome. Her boyfriend's stoked. Can we get behind the scenes of your firework display? My fireworks display. I'm going to this I should show you her. I'm going to this chick's house tonight. She's a professional fighter. She's my kid's striking and jiu-jitsu coach, one of them. And her dad lives on a ranch with a giant swimming pool and horses. And I think we're going over there at 4:30. I don't even think I'll be awake when the fireworks go off. Last night I went to bed at midnight, which is late for me. And like at 12:05, I hear this crazy sound that I've never heard before in my house. So I go out the door. I have these doors, double doors in my bedroom that go out to the backyard. And I walk out there and I'm fucking barely clothed. I'm in my underwear. And there's the biggest fucking plane ever flying over my house, like a big, huge military jet. My wife's like, "What was that?" Like I'm guessing it's a military jet. I said, it was some giant plane flying over our house, massive. And when I mean over our house, I don't mean close either, but I mean close enough to where I could see it's a giant plane. No, it was not the sound of a female orgasm. My whole house was rumbling. I'm like, "Hey man, we've lived here 8 years. I've never heard that or seen a plane fly like that over the house." She goes, "Me neither." It was a trip. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, what is this? Someone just sent me a... I'm watching Alex Gazan videos. Someone sent me a link to her story. You know, usually this time of year, I'm like panicking. Like, I'm like, holy shit, I got to get more athletes on, more athletes on. I'm kind of just winging it now. Just one at a time. I interviewed I invited Danny on. I invited Daniel Brandon on. I invited Jeffrey Adler on. I invited Justin Medeiros on. I'm trying to think who else. I haven't invited Laura yet. I just went through kind of all the names that I thought of people. Oh, I invited Tia on. I kind of went through all the names that I thought like would not come on first, just to kind of like get them out of the way. And then now I don't know how I'm picking them. But I think Enola Kai just popped up in my feed yesterday, and Gemma just popped up in my feed. So I'm just like, okay, start picking them off one by one. I thought of Alex the other day. We did Alex, right? Who else do we need to do? Who else have we done? Sporty Beth. If Sevon says big military plane, I'm guessing it was a private 2-person charter plane. Dude, this thing was massive. Massive, massive, massive. Like bigger than a 747 massive. But it was night, so I couldn't see what color it was. Oh, yeah. Do we have Hattie Canyu on? I think I have to have Hattie on again. Oh, that's a good idea. Try to get Danny and Danielle on together and brand it the Healing Show. I guess Danny did a podcast with Bryce Smith. Someone sent me a link today. Oh, shit. I got a YouTube manager for my channel. Oh, shit. This is crazy. Congratulations and welcome to the YouTube Partner Manager Program. I'm Gerardo Leandro. Oh, I wonder if I can check this guy. Can you just like, wow, that's nuts. Let me check this guy's, is this guy on Instagram? Oh, his name is what? Is that a good thing? That makes me feel like I'm big time now. All right. Shit. I wonder what Susan's going to say about this. Hey, all the behind the scenes are, I think, out from the West Coast Classic. I watched the final episode last night. Holy shit, it's good. It's an hour and 14 minutes. I think that at least one episode's free now too. Has come out from behind the paywall. You will not be disappointed. Absolutely beautifully shot and beautifully edited with fantastic audio. I'm so fucking impressed with myself right now. Zach Jones. This show has really taken off. Go figure. I think I'm just going to have to call Laura Horvat. Maybe now is the time to do it. What time is it there? Where does she live? Hungary or Bulgaria? What is she? What time is it in Bulgaria? 6:38 p.m. What time is it in Hungary? Is that the name of the country? Hungary? 5:38. So, oh, she's in Virginia? How do you know that? You got to go to her Instagram account? Laura Horvat. How do you know? Like you go to her stories or something? Like how do you know? I thought she was at Ben Smith's gym, Instagram. Is that his gym? Damn, that's a cool video. Was that her biking? Look at her lats. Jesus criminy. Really? A turtle? Where does Ben live? So this is Ben's gym? Where's this? Beach day with the family. When's this posted? 22 hours ago? What are those names up there? Something Nelson and something CrossFit. Oh, CrossFit Krypton up on the wall, left-hand corner. All right. Show's just not as smooth flowing without C Beaver, but we're not trying to professionalize this podcast. Dude, Chesapeake, Virginia. So you're saying Caleb makes the show better? That's weird. I had him on to make the show worse. I thought the show flowed fucking amazing just now. What the fuck you're talking about? "25 governors visited the White House yesterday." How's that? Is that weird? Did you guys see President Biden painted himself orange? That's always weird. Painted himself orange. He dyed himself orange. Did you guys see that? To try to like jump on the Trump bandwagon? You can't make this shit up.
First of all, this is not your father's Republican Party. This is a different.
No, sir.
A different group. This ain't your father's Republican Party. Not a joke. This is not your father's Republican Party.
This is not your father's Republican Party. This is a different deal. They are not who we are. They're not who America is.
Because this is not your father's Republican Party. I call them the new Republican Party. This is not your father's Republican Party. I remember working with Republicans. And by the way, this ain't your father's Republican Party. This is not your father's Republican Party. This is a different group of folks, ladies and gentlemen.
Not every Republican is a MAGA Republican. Not every Republican embraces that extreme ideology.
And not all Republicans, but the radical right in the Republican Party. First of all, this is not your father's Republican Party. This is a different.
20 years of the same shit from this guy. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. This is so fun. Do you guys think that does anyone here think that non-US citizens can vote in our elections? Does anyone think that that story is true? Is there anyone who doesn't think that story is true? Is there anyone who's like, no, that's bullshit. Non-citizens can't vote. That's just Republican propaganda. What do you guys think? Can non-US citizens vote? Can non-US citizens vote? What city, if you were to think of a city in the United States where not only they could vote, but they were encouraged to vote, and that they already hold high-level offices in the city, what city would you guess? Let's just say. And that's Chicago, great guess. Where would be the last place you would want illegal immigrants to vote? Let me help you out. Washington, D.C. Yeah, San Francisco, full campaign. San Francisco, completely legal and local and state elections for non-U.S. citizens to vote. It's a full-on blitz here. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. You can just go. Washington, D.C., non-U.S. citizens. It's not only legal for them to vote, non-U.S. citizens, D.C. voting. Not only is it legal, but it's fully fucking encouraged. Like fully fucking encouraged. Does that make fucking any sense to anyone? House passes measure to repeal D.C. Non-citizen voting. They tried to take it away. They failed, by the way. They can fully vote there in Washington, D.C. San Francisco, they can fully. What if I told you that the person in charge of elections in San Francisco was a fucking Chinese national? The person in charge. A Chinese immigrant has been sworn in to serve on San Francisco's election commission despite her lack of U.S. citizenship, raising national security concerns. Man, it is. I was digging into this story last night. Oakland's next. She hopes to increase voting engagement among immigrants and non-U.S. citizens. Sevon, but how long do you have to live in the United States before you can do that in these states and cities? 30 days. You can live in San Francisco for 30 days and vote in all local elections. No. If a community has a huge percentage of non-citizens, does it make sense to have them vote in the local elections? That's exactly where you don't want them voting. Why wouldn't someone just send over 100,000 Chinese to fucking Baltimore and fucking vote and take over the city? And then San Francisco, and then New York, and then D.C. What kind of fucking question is that? A non-U.S. citizen gets to vote in our fucking elections? That doesn't even fucking make any sense. Clock. No, they're illegal. They're not entitled to representation, not entitled to influence our politics. Go fuck yourself, Garrity. Doesn't mean anything to be a citizen. Yeah, I agree. Even you asking that deserves a fucking slapping around, Daniel. Hope you fall in a dildo today. It's fucking nuts. That's what Omar Somalians did in Minneapolis. Yeah. Oh, good for you? Oh. No, get the fuck out of here is how I read it. Yeah, that story's unfolding crazy. The Omar Ilian story. The progressive chick. Have you guys looked at her background? Her dad worked for one of the most vicious dictators in the world. It's nuts. Vermont, San Francisco, D.C. The shit's fucking happening everywhere. 10% of the people surveyed admit to this. If this percentage holds, 2024 election will be in jeopardy. This is in, I think, North Carolina. Non-U.S. citizens admit to being registered to vote. Dude, it's fucking happening, man. We're watching it fucking happen. But I'm concerned about the reversal of Roe v. Wade, or I'm concerned about a January 6th. Oh, okay, cool. Stay focused on those things. That's smart.
Today, we are calling on all of you to declare independence from foreigners deciding our elections. The evidence you are about to see relates to illegal aliens being registered to vote. This is a problem national in scale. The United States of America is for Americans, and our elections only should be decided by them.
Hola.
Hola.
Venimos con un grupo, una organización que está tratando de ayudar a registrar a la gente hispana para votar.
We come with a group that's trying to register people. Are you currently registered?
¿Está registrada ahorita?
Sí.
¿Sí está?
Sí.
¿Y usted es ciudadana o...?
No.
No.
Are you registered? Yes. Are you a citizen? No.
¿Están registrados para votar?
Sí.
Are you registered to vote? Yes.
Sí.
¿Y es ciudadano usted?
Are you a citizen? No. No.
The apartment complex 220 at Branchview in Charlotte, North Carolina, is occupied primarily by non-citizens. We visited the apartment complex to ask residents 2 questions. Are you registered to vote? And are you a citizen? Shockingly, 4 of the 41 people we asked confirmed that they were a non-citizen and registered to vote.
Tenemos una organización que se...
What the fuck is going on? I can't even believe this is fucking happening. Can't even get our own fucking people in the country to vote. Ken Walters, buckle up. It's going to get wild in November. If you thought cities were in upheaval over a felon, just wait when Don wins. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. The Liberals up here just lost a vote in Toronto that was held for 30 plus years to the Conservatives. Yeah, Canada is going through some shit, I think. I mean, they have a world-class piece of shit there. I mean, their country was taken over by fucking Carl Schwab. It's different than Charles Schwab. All right. I'm pretty excited. I'm getting my I'm having my wife look into flights to Fort Worth. What a great day, huh? I found a new superstar for the listen, the L1 team's fucking amazing. But Gemma's amazing. Don't you think she'd be a great addition? Smart, beautiful, hardworking, knowledgeable, passionate, tons of experience, variety of affiliates she's worked in. Did I mention hot? Fuck. Gemma. I wanted to ask her about her last name. That's kind of a wild last name, Rader, right? Like, I wonder if her family comes from like a history of people who raided like other people's homes and shit. Yeah, I'm glad you picked that up. Pink Lady, casually dropping, you're going to the games. Yes. Yes. Very casual. You don't want a coach that dates members, though. Listen. Of course you do. I got fit and I banged a coach. No, but listen, he wasn't even a CrossFitter. He's in a different section of the gym. It's fine. It's fine. They're illegal, Daniel. Anything, non-citizens, illegal, all of them. None of them can vote. Put the rock down. Put the rock down, put your hands up. Turn around and walk out of the room slowly. My ex-girlfriend only fucks coaches in her gym. What's a non-citizen? You, Jonathan. You. Ken Walters, I dated and married my boss, so marrying a coach is no biggie. Oh, what's your boss's name? What's his name? Hey, listen, remember yesterday it was awesome. Remember yesterday I was telling you about I hate it when fucking the least attractive thing about a woman is when she makes everything a man-woman engagement. And fucking, I saw one on the internet like right away when I got off the show yesterday. There was a it's on that thread with that Andrew Hiller has going. And someone said to I don't know who's writing the post, but someone said to the CrossFit book or to I don't even know, to be honest with you. I can't even remember. But someone pointed it out to me as the example. Someone wrote, "Hey, I don't think Greg Glassman would be happy for you talking like this from his representing his business or someone." And I don't know if it was Emily or who, but the person responded, "Oh, you think I belong in the kitchen pregnant? You think I should be in the kitchen cooking and pregnant?" See that? Like, dude, no one even, like, first of all, no one even knows if you're a man or a woman who's posting from this account. No one mentioned whether you were a man or a woman. And now all of a sudden it's gone to like you playing the victim. Like, so you automatically thought that someone was talking down to you because you were a woman. And it's like that, by the way, that is you can't have a relationship like that with someone. That's just crazy. I just couldn't believe that was like a museum quality specimen. It would be like if you honked at a woman and she yelled at the car, "Oh, you don't think women can drive?" It's like, no, you dumb fuck. I don't think you can drive. Yeah, it's just such victim shit. It's like crazy. But I just couldn't believe I saw it. It was such a classic specimen. You think I belong in the kitchen pregnant? It's like, what? Where the fuck did that even come from? It just screams like, hey, look how insecure I am about my vagina. It's nuts. I cannot imagine going around like that. That shit sucks. Hey, and when if I do have things like that, I push them down. I would be embarrassed to show them. You know what I mean? Like I'm embarrassed to be embarrassed. It was crazy. It was a perfect specimen. Someone sent it to me right after the show was over. They're like, "Oh, I got an example for you. I got an example for you. Look at this. This person's fighting with this person. This person said, 'Oh, you think I belong in the kitchen with kids?'" It's like, dude, no one can even tell if you're a man or a woman, the person who's posting. I can't unsee the picture of Sprague that Juan Zombie posted. Did you guys? There's a funny scene with James Sprague in the behind the scenes. Holy shit, it's so funny. Jordan, Jason Speaks, Sebi, sign me up for the Kill Taylor scaled workout. I don't think we do scaled. I think we just do ass whoopings. Maybe you have a mental health issue. I don't know what you're talking about, but let me see. Wad Zombie. By the way, that was really cool that you posted Fit Aid yesterday. I appreciate it. Oh yeah. This is he called himself James Spreagle. This scene was amazing. And I really like it because his fiance didn't get the joke, which just shows how cool she is. Look at that thing. Fucking dump truck. No, the real Stefan Kai. Oh yeah, thank you. Look at Wad Zombie is just like a fool. This website just turned into a promotional campaign for the Sevon podcast. If that doesn't make you thirsty. By the way, you can get 40% off. See, upper right-hand corner. Scan me. Let me see what the fuck. What else is going on here?
No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Now we are going to enjoy this meal. No one can stop us from enjoying this meal, so enjoy it. Stop crying.
Wow. Oh, Justin looks good. No. Yeah. Right. Let's have our own tier Beer Fest Cup, the VIP section. Tier Wadapalooza SoCal VIP Pass. VIP, the top SoCal spectator experience, including single and 3-day VIP tickets found. Hey, at that SoCal event, we're gonna do a live Kill Taylor. And at least that's the plan. I mean, that's what we're throwing around. But I actually think it's going to happen. We're going to do a live Kill Taylor. Taylor will go out into the center of the stadium. He'll do the workout. And then people from the stands can come down and try to beat him. If the first person beats him, they get 500. And we'll take up to 10 people. And the prize money will double every time a person comes out. So if the first 9 people don't beat him and the 10th person beats him, that's $5,000 right there. Bam. Oh, I like that. That's a good response. Someone DM'd me and said, Fit tastes like Flintstones vitamins with a 9-volt battery. I like that. Yeah, I like that taste. Or more. Well, the cat's out of the bag. I was actually talking to Gabe about this idea. Each person will have to do a shot of espresso before the workout. That's what will start the workout. You'll do a shot of Paper Street coffee, 3, 2, 1, go. Hawk Tui, 3, 2, 1, Hawk Tui. You'll do a shot of espresso, and then you go. Shot of espresso with Paper Street coffee. Can athletes come out for it? Yeah, anyone can come out for it. But the thing is like you don't get to wave your hand and then like just because you're Jeffrey Adler, you get picked. Plus, those people, I don't think the games athletes are too scared. Yellow Host is like a rare animal. They don't want to put their shit out on the line. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about. This was fucking hilarious. This, if you're ever like, man, Sevi's so out of touch, you couldn't be further from the truth. It's saying shit like this that makes it so that I might not be able to film the behind the scenes, but this shit is fucking wild to me. Look at this. No offense, Lena, by the way, Miss Ricker. You're beautiful, you're cool. Go get some, but this shit's crazy. Someone recently told me they don't see team athletes competing at CrossFit Games as games athletes, and that hurt. What a great opportunity. Listen, there's a guy in the United States named Michael Jordan, and so many people look up to him, and he's done fucking shit all with his fucking life. He fucking bounces a ball around and runs around with other men and has perfected throwing a fucking wad up piece of paper into a trash can. And he can put it behind his back and he can run up and throw the trash in the trash can. He's a world class at throwing trash away. And people call him a fucking professional athlete. That's what you want? We have a sport here. We pay millions of dollars for people to play baseball. Do you think those people, like, they're professional what? No offense, but the whole shitload of you can go fuck yourself. Like, you're fucking dancing fucking monkeys at best. And we appreciate you for it. And those of you who fucking perfected the craft of saying hut, hike and throwing the ball at other people, cool. Good on you. But if you take yourself so fucking seriously that it fucking hurts to say that you're a fucking team athlete and it fucking hurt, you have fucking way bigger fish to fry than worried about being called a fucking professional athlete. I don't consider any of the people out there fucking professional fucking athletes. I don't even fucking know what that means. You mean your life is so fucking good that you don't have to worry about fucking collecting food every single day to just survive and getting clean water? Like, go fuck yourself. Team athletes, the best team athletes at best is a fucking community event. At best, I'll give fucking Rich Froning, he can be the cheerleading captain for all of CrossFit for all the fucking team events he won. There's like one professional CrossFit Games athlete. Her name's like Tia Toomey. I don't even know why I say that, but I mean, fuck, she's impressive. I'll fucking throw her a bone. But the NBA is a fucking joke. There's not one fucking professional anybody in the fucking NBA. The only fucking professional NFL player that's worth 2 fucking cents is Aaron fucking Rodgers. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know the social fucking damage that those fucktards did in the last 2 years with their playing fucking along with the fucking pandemic and them fucking hating on black people straight for 2 years under the guise of loving them? And you're worried because it hurts your feelings that someone didn't say you were that a games athlete's not a professional athlete? Jesus fucking Christ, man. Get a real fucking job. I respect someone that fucking scoops ice cream and gives ice cream cones to kids than I do fucking 99% of all fucking athletes. Play cricket for a fucking living. Yeah, and you know what Tyson Bagent does? You know what's so fucking cool about Tyson Bagent? Because he comes on here and he uses the fucking platform to show what a fucking great man he is on the fucking straight and narrow. He's open-minded. He speaks his thoughts. He fucking brushes with Matuthian. Yeah, get a real job like podcasting. Thank you, Jonathan. And I like you, Lena, and I'm fucking stoked, and I'm glad you guys do all your shit. But dude, this line here, it hurt, man. That's all on you. You got to unfuck that. Like, just be whoever you want to be. Just be whoever the fuck you want to be. You want to be like, hey man, the coolest athlete out there would be someone who like just accidentally stumbled into the games. Hey man, that's why fucking everyone loves Ariel Lowen. She wanted the sign. They all put in the work and qualified, she said. That's awesome. They inspired me. That's awesome. If you think that the individual athletes are the only one with privilege to inspire, privilege, I mean, just like what? Like another sign that something's wrong with you, dude. Something's wrong with you. Red flag. Red flag. If you think you're the only one with privilege to inspire, I think you're wrong. Dude, there's inspiring people everywhere. Why are you looking outside yourself at all to even talk about this? Hey, it never ends if you keep looking outside, by the way. It never ends. If you don't look inside, if you want it to end, look inside. If you're happy with the mental illness and the pathology, then keep looking outside for confirmation. But it never ends. Either you are a professional athlete or you're not, and only one person knows that. The validation is not going to come from anyone else. And dude, listen, and the validation you want comes from fucking idiots that spend money to watch the fucking NBA, the NFL, the NHL. I mean, just think of how fucking retarded fucking hockey is. Those dudes put on all those pads, put on skates, and skate around on ice and hit a fucking puck around. Now, I'm not saying that there's not like with crazy practice, you can't do some cool Cirque du Soleil shit. And they've honed their craft. But let me tell you, they're so high on the precipice of fucking being useless. Like when shit hits the fan, we're not keeping the hockey players. We're keeping the farmers. It's fucking nuts. Kids dancing at a school dance are more valuable to fucking society than fucking any professional fucking athlete. Don't put any value in that, Miss Richter. That's free. Like, who gives a shit? Yes, you're inspiring. Yes, you work hard. But dude, First of all, your cohort is some of the least intellectually inspirational of any group of people I've ever met. This sport has the least intellectually inspirational people of any group I've ever interviewed. The slap guy was 1,000 times more interesting than 99% of the CrossFit athletes I have on here. Fucking nuts. Worried about someone saying you're privileged to inspire. My garden is more inspiring and what my plants do in my garden than fucking Matt Fraser, Rich Froning, and Tia Toomey put together. Rich's commitment to his kids is more inspiring than anything and more valuable than anything he's done in CrossFit. Although Rich is kind of a weird outlier because his value doesn't come from the fact that he's so good at CrossFit. His value comes from the fact that he wears his values on his sleeves. Uh-oh. Hey, good morning. Hey, I think your YouTube, you got to turn your YouTube down for a second. Hi. Yeah.
It's just an extension of the Roman Empire.
Professional athletes are just the extension of the Roman Empire. Oh, you mean like just like catapulting people over the wall and letting lions eat them?
And, entertain the people and you can control them, right?
Sure.
So that they've elevated professional athletes to this level of stardom, goddom, whatever, deification, and people look up to them, but for what? Because they could throw a ball through a hoop.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But it's just the Roman Empire. They had these gladiator games and they entertained all the people and they kept them happy and until it all fell apart.
And I like entertainment and I am inspired by it, but it's not some a pivotal component to happiness or as a contributor to society in any way.
It contributes to people sitting on their couches eating potato chips and buying stupid products that they don't need.
Correct.
By the advertising.
Yeah.
It's just part of the whole decay of Western society. I mean, we've seen this cycle happen, many times, and it continues because people aren't waking up. But eventually, I hope they'll wake up and turn it off. I mean, but you look at the amount of, look at colleges, for example, right? People spend tens of thousands of dollars, training their kids to become great athletes so they can get a scholarship to college. Well, if you, instead of spending all that money on club sports teams and travel teams and hotels and all that, if you spent that time on tutors and sitting with your kids and educating them, well, they don't need a athletic scholarship to go to college. They just glorified all these athletes to the point where people have forgotten about what's important and what it takes to do well in life, and it starts with your brain.
And I don't want to say, and I know some people are going to mistake this. I don't want to say that there's no place for sports, that there's no place for a lot of physical activity. There's a place for all of that. But to find your self-worth in it from your fellow citizens, you've gone too far.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Like go to the park and pick up trash for an afternoon. You'll feel great. It's a great contribution to society.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the people are still hypnotized by it because they've elevated these people by paying them tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to go out there and dance for them. And they spend wealth. I mean, and the damage is done to the Black community is immeasurable. Because you get to a point where people where people in a community think that that's the only way they can get out of their economic situation.
Right.
And instead of devoting themselves to, bettering themselves, mentally, intellectually, or learning a trade, or just developing a strong work ethic, they play sports, and when it doesn't pan out for them, and for 99% of the people, if not more, it doesn't pan out for them because the competition is so great. They end up back where they started with nothing.
And I want to emphasize this too. I don't mind the hundreds of millions of dollars that they make. I don't care. But the sad part is when they take like someone like LeBron, who's taking the money from Sprite and then selling it to little kids. That's when it's like, hey, fuck you. Your value's done to me. Like, I don't now you've taken all of this fame and all of this money and used it to hurt the people around you. That's where I start getting. But like, I liked it that I don't know who the Rolando guy who when he took the Monster Energy drink or Coca-Cola and threw it under the table and said, drink water. Like, fuck yeah. Right then he earned whatever money he ever made in life. He earned it right there for me. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Is it the best player from the Celtics?
No, it was a soccer player.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember when he did that a couple years ago? He threw some drink under the table and told everyone, hey, drink water, don't drink this shit. That was awesome. For me, that was worth $100 million. That was great.
Well, think about this, Savan. Years ago, I don't know when the laws changed, but you couldn't, advertise prescription drugs on television. If they had, more than like 3 side effects.
That's how Europe is. That's how Europe is, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
But nowadays, that's all you see advertised on television. You turn on a football game, they got Viagra and they got beer.
Yeah.
Right. So if you eliminated the drug advertisements on television, these sports franchises would collapse because they couldn't get the TV contracts because the drug companies are spending billions and billions on these contracts to promote all this stuff. It's all interrelated.
Hey, did you get a football scholarship?
No, I had brain surgery, dude.
I know. I remember that. I don't remember if that happened in high school or in college.
No, that was high school. I was recruited by Michigan and Michigan State and some other big schools, but after that, football was done. Not worth it.
Yeah, you don't want to take another hit.
No, I still don't.
Yeah.
I mean, with a head injury in football, chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a big deal, and you don't necessarily see the effects immediately. It can evolve over time, over 20, 30 years, and a lot of NFL players suffer from it. The NFL had a settlement with the players regarding it.
Your injury happened on the field?
The initial hit took place on the field, and then 3 weeks, for 3 weeks I was having these bad headaches. So I ended up having a CAT scan done, and it didn't find anything. MRIs were really new back then, but I collapsed on the field. My eyes are going in different directions. They took me to the hospital. My dad was a doc, and he knew, they knew, what was going on, and he called his friend who he hadn't spoken to in 30 years. And said he had to operate on my son, and they did the surgery. And I woke up the next morning in a hospital bed. Stayed in the hospital for 10 days and got better. But yeah, it was all a result of a hit I took against Ann Arbor Huron football team. Well, it was actually a hit I delivered.
Did you and I have the same surgery? Did I have the same surgery as you? Do you know?
I think you had an epidural hematoma, where the blood accumulated between the dura mater and the outside of the skull. I had a subdural hematoma, so the blood was in my brain, actually. I think yours was more dangerous because with an epidural hematoma, the pressure builds up a lot more quickly. So faster action is required to alleviate that pressure because there's not that much space between the dura mater and the bone, the skull.
They cut cut your scalp open too, like mine. They opened up the side of your head.
Yeah, I've got like a big omega scar on the side of my head.
Yeah, my kids were looking at mine last night.
Yeah. Mine shows through when I cut the the hair short on the sides, but I try to comb the part in properly and whatever.
What a trip
but
that we both had that head injury. That's so weird, and our names are so similar. What a weird.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that your sister and I have the same birthday.
Yeah, that's weird too. And
Yeah.
I have the same birthday as my cousin on my dad's side, Tamar. No, Tallene.
Oh, I did not know that.
I got my cousins mixed up. Yeah.
I did not know that. But yeah, no, there's so many things that are going on in this world that are interconnected that people can't connect the dots to. But they have to wake up. And I love your Matuthian, for the toothbrushing, because the fluoride, we don't need that. It harms us. And I think there are some efforts out there going after the states and the water companies about fluoride in the water. Are you performing a medical procedure here without our consent? And people are waking up to a lot of these issues that you talk about, and it's good to hear you out there every day consistently, going after these things.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, thanks for calling, dude.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye. More of you should be praising me like that. Sons of bitches. All right. What's today? Thursday? Do I have any more shows today? Oh, Shut Up and Scribble's coming on. Oh, shit. Wife. Hi.
Hi. Did you see my text?
No, I'm doing a show. I'm a professional. How dare you? I'm a professional podcaster. I don't read text while I'm on the show.
Oh, that's weird. I could have sworn I saw you do that. It must have been a dream or something.
Hey, is Nico coming over at 9:30?
No, he texted back and said not today.
Oh, are the house cleaners there?
They're on their way.
Okay, I'm going to get off the show and I'm going to take the boys out then. I don't want to be here when they're here. Okay.
Don't forget to turn your computer off unless you want me to do it right now.
Oh, yeah. Will you turn it off now? Thank you.
Yeah.
And will you unplug that whole thing from the wall after it turns off?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
All right, guys, got to go. Oh, Kenneth the Lab, speaking of Shut Up and Scribble, HGR CBD is having 20% off discount for the 4th of July. That's cool. They sponsored Kill Taylor. Good dude. Carl's a good dude. Enjoy working with him. All you guys are fucking good dudes. Enjoy coming here every morning, man. You guys are great. Friday, Kill Taylor. No, Saturday, Kill Taylor. Friday, CrossFit Games update show. It'll be a fun one. I'm going to spend tomorrow. What's today? Thursday? No, today. Actually, today and tomorrow, I'm going to go through and watch all of Dave's videos. I'll take little clips from him. I'll bring them up on the CrossFit Games update show. John Young will be here. JR will be here. I'm trying to get Billy Grundler. Maybe Tyler Watkins will be here. It's going to be a good crew. All right, guys. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Lena, thank you for letting me use you as an example. I think you're fucking wonderful. I'll call you whatever the fuck you want. You can be a professional athlete or not. But don't look to the outside for fulfillment. Yeah, as Kenneth would say, you're world-class beaver. Just accept it. Okay, love you guys. Bye-bye.